Thank you for watching YIQ TV. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this particular video and this particular YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it. We're going to be talking about the Crystal Rogers murder trial. After roughly about 10 days and 4 hours of deliberation in the Crystal Rogers murder trial, the jury has reached a verdict as of July the 8th. We're going to run this clip with her mother. Very sad situation.
Was a very good girl. She's a very good daughter. She was a very kind person. She never met a stranger. She was nice to everyone that she met. You know, she had a friend that she even let move in with her because she didn't have a place to go, and that's the type of person my daughter was. We were a very close family, and I'm not doing anything different that any mother would do for their daughter at all. Gosh, it's been really hard on me and the kids. I'm just praying this will bring us some kind of closure. I want it, but it's going to be so hard for me to hear that when I just hope I can handle that when they come to me with that news, even though I've waited for 6 years. And I need closure. Her kids need closure.
So very sad video that we just finished listening to concerning Crystal Rogers' mother. Those of you who are not familiar with the case, I'm going to get you up to speed. This is a recap. It's going to be a recap of the day one murder trial concerning Steve Lawson. Steve Lawson was tied to the disappearance of Crystal Rogers. Crystal Rogers went missing in July of 2015. Her car was found abandoned along the Bluegrass Parkway in Bardstown, Kentucky. Her phone was still inside along with her purse. Phone and purse were both inside. For years, her case went unsolved, but back in 2023, police were able to charge Steve Lawson with conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with evidence. Now the courtroom is open and the trial has officially begun. Like I said, this is going to be a recap of day one of that particular trial. The morning of day one started with jury selection. The judge denied defense's request to delay the trial, even though they said they needed more time to review the evidence. So that was denied. Cameras were banned from the courtroom to keep the trial from becoming a media circus. After questioning possible jurors about their backgrounds and potential biases, a full jury was selected, 12 jurors and 3 alternates. It didn't take all day. Jury selection moved pretty fast. Loved ones of Crystal Rogers and the press watched from a nearby overflow room. During the lunch break, after jurors were selected and they were seated, court took a short lunch break around 12:30 p.m. Everybody returned after 1 hour later and were ready for opening statements. So the opening statements started roughly about 2 p.m. The prosecution, they went first. Special prosecutor Shane Young told the jury that Steve Lawson helped cover up Crystal's murder. He explained how phone records and location data placed Lawson and others near the area where Crystal's car was abandoned. He also mentioned that Crystal had been having problems with her boyfriend Brooks Houck, who also was under suspicion. Then Steve Lawson's defense attorney, Darren Wolf, gave his opening remarks. He admitted that Steve had been tampering with Crystal's car by adjusting the driver's seat, but he strongly denied that Steve had anything to do with the murder. He said that some of the witnesses are just trying to be heroes and reminded the jury to wait to see the evidence before deciding anything. So why would he be messing with the car seat? That is odd. So their first witness was Sherry Ballard, and this happened roughly at about 3:30 p.m. Sherry Ballard is the mother of Crystal Rogers. That was the first video that I just finished showing you guys in the beginning of this video presentation. Sherry's testimony was very emotional. She began by talking about Crystal's life, her children, and the problems that Crystal had with Brooks Houck. She mentioned that Brooks had started dating somebody else and that there was some tension. One important moment that she shared was the day that Crystal went missing. Sherry said that she saw Brooks on the road while she was out looking for her daughter. Later, she saw video footage from a security camera that showed Brooks driving with one of Crystal's kids in his truck. That's when she knew something was very wrong. Sherry broke down in court while describing that particular moment. After Sherry Ballard's emotional testimony, the court ended the day. No other witnesses were called on day one, and the judge reminded the jury not to speak to anybody regarding the case and to return the following day. So now let's look at this timeline. So this timeline is very short, but it's very disturbing. On July the 3rd, 2015, Crystal Rogers, who was only 35 years old at the time and a mother of 5, was last seen at her partner's family home in Bardstown, Kentucky. His name is Brooks Houck. Houck claimed that she was fine and she had went to bed while playing on her telephone. On July the 5th, 2015, Crystal is reported missing and her Chevrolet Impala is found with a flat tire at mile mark 14 on Bluegrass Parkway. The keys were still in the ignition and her phone and her purse were still inside of the car. On November the 19th, 2016, now let's remember Crystal has already been missing since July the 3rd, 2015. However, on November the 19th, 2016, Crystal's father, Tommy Ballard, who pushed for justice for his daughter's disappearance, is shot and killed on family property. So authorities are thinking that the two cases of Crystal Rogers and her father, Mr. Ballard, are somehow connected. So the shooting of her father and the missing daughter, Crystal Rogers, they're thinking that both of these cases are somehow related.
Well, Crystal Rogers' family is now begging for answers.
The Bardstown mother, 35-year-old, has now been missing for 2 years. WDRB's Katrina Helmer spoke with her mother, who says she will never give up hope.
2 years ago today, Crystal Rogers disappeared. As time passes, her mother says she will never stop looking, and she needs your help to bring Crystal home. A mother's instincts, now a mother's nightmare.
When I went and reported Crystal missing, I knew that day something was wrong.
Crystal Rogers, the 35-year-old mother of 5, was reported missing July 3rd, 2015. Her car was found abandoned on the side of the Bluegrass Parkway 2 days later. Rogers' longtime boyfriend, Brooks Houck, was named a suspect, but 2 years later, still no one has been charged.
Sometimes it feels like it's been that long. Sometimes it feels like it was just yesterday and the pain is still raw and right there.
Sherry Ballard says her hope will also never fade, even as the family faces more tragedy.
It's very, very hard for me to continue to look for Crystal without him.
Sherry's husband, Tommy Ballard, was shot and killed last November while out hunting on the family's property. KSP is treating it as a death investigation. The pain of losing a daughter and a husband, at times too much to handle.
I'm sorry. Tommy was like my whole world.
Sherry says she knows Tommy's death was not an accident. The family believes the same person is responsible for Crystal's disappearance. 2 former KSP troopers are now dedicated to investigating these and other high-profile unsolved crimes in Bardstown. Sherry says she's not waiting. She will have answers someday.
My husband was there for me 24 hours a day, and I will be there for him and Crystal till the day I die. So whatever I have to do that, I will.
So let's talk about the motive, the relationship between Crystal and Brooks Houck. It was shaky. Crystal had actually broken up with him right before her disappearance, allegedly due to him dating somebody else. Investigators believe that this is a possible motive. The actual cover-up prosecutor suggests that Brooks may have enlisted Joseph and Stephen Lawson to help conceal Crystal's disappearance as well as her murder. No body or no weapon. The case heavily relies on circumstantial evidence, call logs, phone data, and witness testimonies rather than physical remains. Let's talk about how they got caught. We're talking about cell phone and location data. Investigators traced moments in communications around midnight, the time of her disappearance. Calls show that Lawson and Houck were in the vicinity of the Bluegrass Parkway where her car was later found. A phone data tower places them near the area at that critical time. Multiple searches had occurred between 2015 to 2022 at the Houck residence, the farms, and the new construction sites. The FBI joined the investigation in 2020 after seeking items of interest, even though nobody has been found. September 2023, Joseph Lawson was indicted for conspiracy to murder and tampering. Brooks Houck was arrested on murder and evidence tampering charges. In December of 2023, Stephen Lawson was charged. These indictments stem from compiled evidence regarding the cell phone pings, witness accounts, and statements implicating each other.
They hate you. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.